Once again, we're staying in our xrefs.dwg file, and you can see the property line.dwg file is referenced into our xrefs.dwg file. There it is right there. It's an external reference file. And if I select that, you can see that AutoCAD knows it's an external reference file too. So what we're going to have a little look at now is we're going to have a look at clipping and altering the Xref view in our drawing. Now, if we click on the Xref, you can see that we've got some tools here. I'm not going to look at edit just yet. We're going to look at clipping. So we can create a clipping boundary and we can remove a clipping boundary. Now, what this means is if I create a clipping boundary, I can specify which part of the Xref I want to see in my host drawing. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm telling AutoCAD that I only want to see a certain part of the property line.dwg Xref in my host drawing, the xrefs.dwg file. So if I go to create clipping boundary, like so, I can select a polyline that might already be there. I can create a polygonal clipping boundary, a rectangular one, but I can also invert that clip. I'm just going to go for rectangular and specify my first corner of my clipping boundary. I'm going to pick a point there and drag it across like so. I don't want to see the parking lot, that bit on the sort of right-hand side there. So if I click there, you'll notice it disappears like so. So there's my clipping boundary. Now you'll notice I can flip it as well. Can you see I've got an invert X-clip boundary there? Can you see now the Xref disappears? I've got no property line inside the clipping boundary. If I click on the arrow, I can flip it and there is the Xref there. There's the property line inside the clipping boundary. I'll just hit escape to deselect it. And it's a really useful feature because what I can do now is perhaps bring that into a layout and just show the boundary line, the property line there for the building itself. I'm not worried about the parking lot bit that kind of comes down here and around here. So what that means is that clipping boundary will always be there. But if I select it, you'll see that it goes back to the external reference tab on the ribbon. So there's my clipping boundary there. And delete old boundary? Yes, I can, because I clicked on create clipping boundary. Yes, I'll delete the old boundary. So I can then select polyline, go polygonal perhaps, or rectangular, or invert the clip. So I can invert the clip, but it won't do anything there because I'm deleting the old one. So let's go for polygonal. And I'm going to pick a different boundary this time, a different clipping boundary. So I'm going to do it polygonal. I'm going to kind of come down here, into there, round there, over there, and I'm just going to do this completely randomly like that. And then enter to confirm. And can you see it's created a clipping boundary that shape? And it is a little bit odd, but when I flip it, can you see I've only cut off that little bit there of the actual external reference drawing. When I flip it back, I've just got that little tiny bit that's been cut off by that diagonal line there. Now, the good thing is, nice and easy, when I select my external reference, I can just say, right, remove clipping boundary. Job done. And I can now see the Xref, the property line.dwg in its entirety. So clipping your boundaries and setting them up in AutoCAD is actually really, really easy. The tool is there. Just select the Xref and go to clipping in the panel here in the external reference tab on the ribbon. You can create a boundary and remove a boundary. It's that quick and it's that easy. And it just allows you to alter the display of your Xref in your host drawing.